Morning, everybody. Hope you're doing well. It's Robert Biggerstaff with the Hustle Nation. If you're interested in talking with me and you'd like a phone call free of charge, it's not $100 an hour call or anything of that nature. You get a free 15 minutes of my time. Send me an email. There's a email in the description included. Include your phone number and I will give you a call. We'll talk for 15 minutes, whatever it is that you want to ask me or get my thoughts on, my opinion, or what would you do type of scenario, then just let me know. Some things I'm not going to answer just due to the liability of, my answer and everything. If you ask me, specifically, what kind of insurance do I need for my dump trailer, I'm going to say the most you can afford. And, somebody says, what kind of, laws am I going to have to? I'm always going to say, laws are different from state to state. You learn your laws in your state, so to speak. But regardless, you can get 15 minutes of my time and free of charge. And, generally speaking on Monday Money, we're always talking about something having to do with finances and everything. And today I really wanted to talk about the not so glamorous stuff. This is not us going on trips. This is not us going to see mom. This is not going down to Central Florida, hanging out at my sister's place with alligators in the backyard. This is just, for lack of better words, grassroots type of things that we need to stay in touch, abreast with, and keep in the back of our mind. One of the things to consider having to do with building wealth and living our ideal life, living our best life, is having to do with elderly care once we get of age and we're really not able to live on our own. Nobody wants to talk about this. Nobody wants to face it, but guess what? You're going to die. You will die. Yes. I pray to God you're in a position financially that you can live every day like it's going to be your last, and you have all those options that your heart could desire. I was talking with a buddy of mine that he is saddled with having to take care of a father-in-law, and thankfully they're in a real good position. They got cash, they got about 20 rentals, so they're in a great position to be able to do that. Are you in a position where you can take on one of your parents if you have to? Are your parents in a situation that they can take care of themselves? We really never look at these things going into the latter part of life. And, I just Googled what's the average cost of a nursing home in the United States. Average cost is $7,500 to $9,000 a month. That's a considerable chunk of change, folks. That's $108,000 a year. And that's after you pay taxes on top of your money. So how is it that you plan on having $140,000 a year coming in to be able to go to a nursing home? You really have to ask yourself these kind of questions. And God forbid you do. We'll say you make it to your 85 or 90 and you're still driving, you're living on your own and everything. Maybe have somebody come in for a few hours a day, help clean, cook some meals for you and everything like that. And you're not in that position. That'd be a godsend. That would be a phenomenal gift, but we're not. What if you do have to go to a nursing home? If you've been to any of the places that are on the bottom of the financial food chain, they are not nice and they are no fun. And I definitely don't want my mother being there, and I damn sure don't want to be there myself. The thing about it is that we really never look at this. The average salary in the United States is $92,000. So half the country makes more than that, half the country makes less than that. Now ask yourself, if I was 20 years old and I started making $92,000, which is highly unlikely, but if you did, how much money are you going to have to put away each month to get to a point that when we'll say you're 75 that you have an income of $10,000 a month. Now remember this, there's really only one thing that you're going to get involved with that will pay you money that you don't have to lift a finger for. Those are dividend paying stocks, okay? That's really it. Now there's some other things out there. I don't quite understand exactly how they work. There are things called annuities. There's this. Now, a lot of those also come with a situation where you have to invest the money, give it to them for a certain amount of time before you see anything come back to you, okay? And that's something that you need to be prepared for when you're making your investments. Can I do without this money for the 2 years, 5 years, whatever it is, okay? And start planning your financial future. You know, the sad thing is that the vast majority of people will plan and put more time into their family vacation that will only happen for a week or two than they do their financial blueprint for the rest of their life. And I say all of this because you can actually do this blueprint and get the plan started, stick with it, and then be done with it and really not have to mess with it again as long as you stick with it. You know, the thing about it is it's real funny because a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, everybody was touting the stock market and holding on to their stuff. Well, guess what? Stock market was an all-time high. That should have been a real good time to be selling. Because what's happened, it's come down. And it's a real good time to be buying. And a lot of these people are freaking out now because they're wanting to get off because they're afraid this thing's going to keep on going down. And it might. I'm not telling you either way, okay? It very well could go down further. And the thing about it, though, is that the vast majority of people have this whole thing reversed, okay? In the sense that when times are good, that's when we sell. When times are bad, that's when we buy. You know, Warren Buffett, when people are greedy, you need to be fearful. And when people are fearful, you need to be greedy. Right now, a lot of people are fearful. It's time to be greedy. It's time to be buying, okay? And me personally, if I knew what I knew today, I would have been investing as much as possible into basically index funds or, you know, some stocks that are, consistently in the 8 to 12% yearly return with the dividends. I would have been in that in my early 20s, okay? My mindset didn't change till I was between the ages of 25 and 30. Bought my first rental when I was about 30, and now I got 31 doors, okay? And I've got a specific goal. Hopefully I'll be there in about 2 years, but I got an exit strategy on how to get away from this thing because basically I've created a monster that, you know, takes a lot of time and I can't get away from, and it's with all the rental properties. I've got 2 employees, hiring a third one, and, you know, the goal this year is to get everything up and going that I've got, okay? And we're going to proceed forward. We're going to have everything, and I am not buying any properties until everything is done that I have. I just finished up a house, and we bought it for $20, put the money into it ourselves. I think I'm all in on about $45,000 for the materials and labor that's into it. It appraised for $124,000, and I'm actually getting a 12-year mortgage on it for $80,000 to walk away with, and minus some cost and everything. But then I'm going to take that money and I'm going to put it into other properties that I have, and we're going to get everything that I've got this year up and going so that I'm no longer having any vacancies. And you know, that's the killer right there is when, you know, your property's sitting and it's not turning any revenue for you. And that's definitely not a good thing. And so one of my biggest problems has been is I've been saying yes to a lot of people. Well, that saying yes puts my projects on the back burner because we go and do their floors, we go and do their painting, we go and do this, that, whatever it is. And, you know, I'm just going to have to stop doing that and make my stuff a priority. So that's what's occurring right now. Again, you know, thinking about these things, and I hear people all the time, you know what, I'm probably not going to live that long, so I'm not really worried about investing in everything. Chances are you are going to live that long. It's a reality. Medicine's better. Healthcare is more affordable, more accessible for people than it was 20, 30 years ago. Chances are you're going to live a long time, okay? Let's hope you're in shape. You know, do you have an exercise regimen? Do you have a fitness routine? Let's hope so. All of these things are just things that you need to question yourself about and having to do with your financial future. You know, if you go to the day you die, you don't have to go into a nursing home and you got this big fat stack of cash and everything. Well, guess what? Somebody's going to be extremely grateful for the legacy that you left and very fortunate, whether it's your Humane Society, whether it's your church, your, next door neighbor, the paper boy, I don't know. I don't know who it's going to be. But I'm sure that they're going to smile and be thankful that, they had that opportunity for the blessing that you gave them. So, my thing to you is to look at everything. Look at this big circle. Let's get you living your best life. And again, if you want 15 minutes of my time, send me an email, okay? I will give you a call. Be sure to include your phone number, and you can ask me whatever you want. I hope you have a wonderful day. We've got a little hustle in the mug, and we're going to be headed out here shortly. Take care.